Let's go. Welcome to Last Chance Q with myself, Coach JB and Sean Salisbury.
We will not talk over the amateur or under the expert.
It's not only the X's and O's, but it's about the Jimmys and Joes.
And it's not just quarterback. We got all the positions, teaching, coaching, laughing, and joking.
We're using football terminology so we can get through this faster than we don't want to use these long terms, Coach. We got quick verbiage to get to the point. Last Chance Q with the great legendary Sean Salisbury. What up? We are here in the building on this fine Sunday fun day. We're going to get after it on the realest NFL pregame breakdown show. Jeff, it ain't pregame right now. Welcome back. We got a game in progress, obviously. Another fucking London overseas game that started at 6:30 or whatever. And it looks like a dismal one from what I've been watching. Jacksonville finally scored to make it a 21-10 game. Sean will be joining us here in a second. These London games seem like they're the players are very disinterested. I'll just say it like that. Just reading body language, it looks like a horrible product every single week. And people will say, Jeff, last week's game was close, but it wasn't a good game. So that's the difference. It was a close game at the end because he threw an interception. He wasn't fucking good. It wasn't a good game. But I'm tired of these London games, and I don't want to wake up. Luckily, I wake up early anyway because I'm used to it. But this shit right here looks horrible. But speaking of that game, Jeff, Trevor Lawrence and this team, could you see Peterson getting fired? I know you've alluded to it. Do you see this game being cooked and Trevor Lawrence being having buyer's remorse with that ownership group there?
Yeah, I think you have to. I mean, you don't normally see in season firings, but we just saw it recently with Robert Saleh. Yeah, I mean, it's bad in Jacksonville. I mean, they're usually pretty good in these games as far as going to London. They do it pretty frequently, but Caleb Williams looks pretty good. Look, Lawrence actually hasn't been that bad. I mean, he's 15 for 20, 171 yards, but they just can't seem to get much of a stop half the time. They're giving up 7 yards a play in this game. It's not very good. Yeah, I think you have to make the coaching change. They seem lost.
Man. It's hard, man, because Urban Meyer debacle set them back, it seems like. They go get Peterson. Peterson gets them to the playoffs. They're a play away from beating the Chiefs. People just don't remember that just a few years ago, and now we're talking about firing him. It's just a cold, cold business. I used to say it on Netflix, man. This business is colder than the dope game, Jeff.
Well, I remember when the Eagles won the Super Bowl and he was fired, a year or so later. So it's look back though at that, JB. Like, was that more of the coordinators they had, or was that Peterson? It's
I don't know, man. I Eagles right now, we're going to see. I want to see how they treat your guy Sirianni, because I'm curious to see. He went to a Super Bowl. Peterson at least won one and beat Belichick. So
right.
I'm curious to see how this one unfolds, man. I would be shocked if they did, but like you said, we saw Saleh. I don't think this Jacksonville team has the hype of a Saleh-led Jets roster because of Aaron Rodgers obviously bringing that hype. But at the end of the day, this team doesn't look very the continuity is not there, regardless of what you want to say. If it's defense, offense, I don't know, but it seems just like two teams out here just fucking jacking each other off. I'm just going to be telling you, honestly.
Yeah, I don't like London games or Thursday games, but I got to ask you, what was your takeaway from yesterday with the college football? What?
Man, I was on the boat. I'll be honest. I was on the boat. I got to we went to Hustler Casino to meet up with Steve Kim and Mario Lopez, and Big Smitty showed up. So me and a good friend of mine drove out. Two friends of mine drove out, met Steve, had some drinks, had many more drinks, and then we kept staying there. Then we watched the Oregon game. So we watched that to find the finale. And then the Colorado game on, we watched about a good half. And then I had to drive an hour and a half, take my buddies home, and drive back. And I missed the second half, but I just heard about the ending of the game and everything. So I was getting updates from everybody. So I didn't really see too much of it, man. I know they came back, took the lead. I heard they lost the lead. I heard it was a good game, so I don't know.
Let me ask you something. If you're if Will Howard's your quarterback, what do you say to him after that? What are you doing? I mean,
that we were up there like soon as first of all, I don't know. See, I don't know if I could have put him in that spot. We had to go into that shot, taking that shot right there, saying either A, it's a Hail Mary, or you're catching it and throwing an out route on time, regardless, just to get us a shot in field goal range. You can't just take that and run because the coach now put the fucking future of his put his future in that kid's hands, and I think that was the bad choice from the gate. I'm not the kid's favorite. I'm not a fan of the kid. I don't think he's that good, but I'm just being honest. As soon as he did this, Jeff, and he pump faked it, and then he tucked it, and then I'm like, holy fuck, game's over. There's only 5 seconds left from the gate. It was 6 seconds when he snapped it.
Yeah.
Let's bring our main man, Sean Salisbury, in and ask him that same exact question. Hey, Sean, what's up?
All good. I was training one of the great young quarterbacks in this state. Got the quickest release I've seen from a high school quarterback in Texas in a long time, dude.
Quicker than Kurt? Quicker than Trent Green? Quicker than Kurt? Quicker than Dan Marino? Quicker than me?
Quicker than as a sophomore in school.
Oh,
yeah,
really?
I would say he's been quicker than as a sophomore in high school, or now just started his junior year. Yeah, and he's also the anchor on the 4x200 meter relay team.
Really?
So yeah, he's Bo Bryant. Keep an eye on him. He's special. Got his team at 7-0 in his first year starting too. So sorry I'm a little late. Jeff, how you doing, brother?
What's up, my man? How are you?
Good.
Hey, Sean, you
What are we
walking
talking
right?
about?
We're talking right into a great conversation.
I asked, what would so you were a quarterback, JB was a quarterback. Let's say you're a coach last night and Will Howard is your quarterback. Look, again, you don't put him in that situation, but what is he doing? I mean, it's 6 seconds left. You have a timeout. I mean, what are you doing there?
What you do is once you got how's the bill of my hat look? Pretty sweet or not? How's it look?
That's pretty
sweet?
good.
All right, just making sure. I don't know why I'm all fucked up with the bill of my hat.
Are you
first
in a
off-
G-string though? You wearing a G-string? Are you still wearing a G-string?
You know what? I've gone to boxer briefs, the Tommy John boxer briefs, man. Yeah, I've changed up a little bit. First of all, if you should never every single situation you go into a game should be talked about before you even are in that situation. That's one.
That's what I just told
Two
you.
is you let him know that when you got a big game like that, there's a built-in time clock. Listen, he's been in the league. He's been a college quarterback long enough. Well, I understand sidelines, but you just got to have an awareness. And he had a hell of a game. He just went haywire at the end. He just did. You cannot, absolutely cannot. And even what was it, the snap before it, when you take all those hits, I mean, remember how long the ball took to play before it, to throw it? The ball's got to come. If it's not there at that situation, you got to either get to 1 to 2 and get it out. Now, the scramble was good, but once you get rolling, that built-in time clock, because you're taking the drop back and he's got to slide down, cry down, and call a timeout, at least with a second left. You can't try to get extra yards. You got to rely on your kicker to get those extra yards. There was a lot of clock management problems, guys, the whole day yesterday. SC, I don't know what they were friggin' doing at the end of the game. I have no idea what they were doing. And you can't defend a tight end. I mean, it happened all over the place.
I will say though, that on that final drive, there were some pass interferences. They did not call.
Two of them.
They
You're exactly right.
Yeah.
Two of them they didn't call, but those are the things you can't control. What you can control is, I don't know why 30 seconds let out the clock. It was like, come on, man, let's get this ball snapped. So
yeah, that was bizarre as well.
I don't understand. You're trying to get it down. Then you're not. There's a difference between being urgent and hurried. Then you put your team in a hurried position. It was baffled by that. But Will Howard, he knows better. You just got to get down 6 sets. So think about it. Ball snap, 1,001. 1,002 drop back. Give me 7-8 yards. At least let my kicker get a chance to swing through it. Whether he makes it or not, you didn't give it. You at least got to have a chance at the table.
I also will throw this out. The other quarterback on the other side, I'm just going to say it, he beat Ohio State. They are likely to run the table the rest of the season. Their toughest game is probably Illinois. Dylan Gabriel's going to win the Heisman. They're
going to be a top 4 seed, Jeff, too. You're exactly right. Maybe it's a 1 or 2 seed if this continues.
And you look at all of a sudden, and look, guys, again, I've only done this for like 15 years, so maybe listen occasionally, some of you folks, when I talk. Last night, JB, was a prime example of why you have to foreshadow what will happen. If Dylan Gabriel has a big game, he is going to be essentially right there as the favorite to win the Heisman Trophy. He plays at Oregon, a team who, remember, beat Boise State, and likely will win out. So you look at him now, he's 3.5 to 1 to win the Heisman. If Ginty has one game, so let's say next time when they play UNLV, let's say he runs for 80 yards, he's out. That's simple. One little mistake, he's out.
Jeff, I agree. Now, guys, I agree. After all the days of watching that great college football Saturday from the LA, what a great throw by Nussmeier. Talk about guts and balls. He did not play a great game, couple interceptions, but the guts and balls and the throw, the down the stretch, that's guy under awareness. That too deep, JB, when he hit the too deep bender he threw the guy open when he was through it, the receiver was covered. That's what we call by throwing a guy open. And Jeff, you're 100% correct. And I stayed up all night last night watching, and I wanted to, JB, to see him. I wanted to see him against Hawaii, and I did. I stayed up and watched Boise State. Now, the kid's a special player. And when he lines up, it's weird because he doesn't bend his knees to the backfield. I think, dude, are you going to get ready? And bam, he shoots out of that thing. Special. The problem is most people didn't see it. Nut jobs like you and I did. Everybody saw Gabriel scramble from 28 yards to win and then beat the number 2 team in the country. So whether he deserves it or not, which I don't argue the kid's being great, they can't lose a game, and they can't have a sub-100-yard game. Now, unfortunately for the best player in college football, Hunter is out of it now after the injury because the numbers won't be gaudy enough, and they lost to Kansas State. So they've got 2 losses. Now, he may go on a run. If he goes on and catches 10 balls a game the rest of the way and they go undefeated the rest of the way, he'll be in New York. Genty will be in New York. But a guy like Dillon Gabriel now has a legitimate chance now to run away and hide because their games are going to be seen. So, but JB, your point, I get it. I wish the world could see Genty on a regular basis because the guy stumbled his way to 217. Took about 5 minutes. Took about 5 minutes into the game for me to say I've seen him, but there's something different about him. But
let me ask you a question though. Okay, and I'm again going to keep asking this because no one seems to answer it.
Jeff, I'm on your side on this. Dillon Gabriel should be the leader in the clubhouse right now.
What would he be doing if he were in the Big Ten? He would not be running for 300 yards every game.
But I'll tell you this. If he was at Michigan or at Penn State, he'd be running for $1.25 or $1.25.
Jeff, you act like he don't have that O-line, bro, and that talent around him. Come on, man.
But again, we're talking about Hawaii.
He's got Boise State's O-line at fucking Michigan. He would have Michigan's O-line, bro.
Right.
He would be fucking unbelievable.
Yeah, but he's playing Hawaii. He's playing
I don't care. I know talent.
You're both right.
Did you ever see Marshall Faulk play at San Diego State, homie?
Sure.
And did you see what he did in that league? And then everyone said he would be shitty because he played nobody. And then he went to the NFL.
I'm just curious.
Famer.
Right. Listen, at the end of the day, I think his margin, though, as we just talked about, is very small. If he has a decent game against UNLV, he's out.
I'm with you guys on the Heisman thing because you're going to get the big team that has the big player, and it's a quarterback award. For a quarterback not to win it, like Devontae Smith did a few years ago, like we've seen
Barry Sanders season.
You got to have a Barry Sanders season, right. And then you got to have the stars got to align right. Somebody's going to have to lose late, like a Milroe loss. If Milroe goes on a run, even though they're struggling, who knows if he gets back in it. But I agree. I mean, I can see Gabriel being there. I was just saying as far as the best player, in my opinion.
You're both right.
Dillon Gabriel is not the best. He is the best right now.
We don't give the Heisman Trophy to the best Sunday guy or who's going to be drafted. We give it to the guy who's got the gaudiest numbers on the best team.
I agree with both of you on that.
Closest to the top team.
And remember,
player Genty right now is playing better than anybody in college football.
Sure.
To Jeff's point, he's doing it against Hawaii. He's doing it against teams and he wouldn't run for 215 yards if he was on those teams every week.
Dillon Gabriel just shit on Ohio State. He had a huge game last night, won the football game.
And losing one of his players, it's a friggin' turd, okay, early in the game. Losing one of his turd players for what he did by spitting in face, which I'm sure will hit. What a coward, weak-ass. Listen, I understand pushing and shoving, but what you do when you cross the line of spitting in a guy's face, you go from competitive and passionate and want to win to a coward punk-ass and cheap shot and spit in a guy's face. If you did that in the streets, you'd have your ass whooped 6 ways to Sunday. Unfortunately, and he's a good player. I mean, a hell of a player, but you cross the line. That's not competitiveness. That's a character flaw, but I digress. But back to this.
That's the portal. That's the fucking portal.
No doubt about it. Genty is a hell of a player. He wouldn't be rushing for 215 if he was on another team, but if he had a Michigan offensive line, he'd still be getting $1+ because the talent for him changes, better players on his team, but he'd be also running into Penn State's defense and good defenses. And
that's what I'm saying.
The truth of the matter is, if he was running for $1.25 on Michigan, he'd probably be closer to winning it than he would be at Boise State if they lose a game because of the school he plays at. Everybody's right. Genty, great player. Hunter's the best player in the country. Right now, Dillon Gabriel should be the leader in the clubhouse, at least 7 weeks in for the Heisman Trophy.
Yeah, and it's crazy that the wideout for Ohio State, who I got to finally watch a little bit last night, who's really good. Of course, he's special. He may be the best ever to come through there. That's Joey Galloway. That's fucking, all the
Chris
Harrison.
Carter, a lot of great players, yeah.
All these guys, Chris Carter. He could be the best. But he would have been in the conversation like a Devontae Smith, in my opinion, but they couldn't have lost that game.
I'll tell you one other thing, just throwing this out there. Another blowout victory for Clemson, who is just
and Klubnik threw for 3+. And Klubnik threw for 3+ yesterday. He's going to find his way to New York if this keeps up.
They're finally letting him be him.
Yep.
And on offense.
And that's what I've waited for. That's a great point.
No question about it.
Riley's finally showing us that shit. Yeah.
One other college thought, JB. Did you see Shiloh Sanders get absolutely embarrassed on that when he broke his ankles? Did you see that?
I saw the highlights. But listen, I'm one of the only ones on this show that comes out and says he's not an NFL guy. And I don't know why he'll keep saying he is. He's not. He's not an NFL guy. But I'll give him a lot of credit. And I've talked to the kid now several times. The kid has nuts and guts, which you cannot give a kid a heart transplant. And he wants to come downhill and bang you. The problem
he'll knock the shit out of you.
The problem is he's stiff as a porn dick and he can't move. And you can't have that nowadays in this NFL world we live in with RPO and fucking slot receivers and linebackers who are now getting lighter, not heavier, because now nickel safeties are what? Corners.
Yes.
Because they have to cover all these different guys that are just running all these different shit. RPO, we're running all these glances off of triple option look. They can't have the heavy box safety no more, and that's what he is.
His brother's a legitimate NFL guy now.
He fits. He
34, 40 last night. He looked like, he's a player. No question.
Quarterback?
Yeah. Yeah, Shedeur Sanders. He can he can rip it. He's a good player, man. And
I want to get your evaluation on him one day.
We'll break down the top 6 or 8 of them, JB, and really look hard at decision-making and all that stuff.
Yeah, no doubt.
I'll tell you what, he can sling the rock. You're dead right about that.
He's tough. He takes a lot of hits now. He ain't bullshit now. He'll sit in there and take some hits on a very subpar offensive line, no doubt.
And look, he kind of got, at the end of the day, he had a bad rap. He didn't have Hunter. He didn't have Horn. And he still threw for 388. You got to give him a lot of credit. Look, I'm seriously not trying to be this guy, but like and that's the kind of game where if you're a Colorado and you want to take the next step, you've got to find ways to win those games at home. You just do. K-State's a good team. It's back to the drawing board for them. But, yeah, he was very good last night.
2 years from now, I was going to say, keep an eye on. I had him, JB, at that All-American game where I was, the one in Dallas. You and I would put a game plan in for you from distance. That kid was my quarterback.
That's
the first year. Avery Johnson. Next year, you'll put some odds on him as a Heisman guy. That kid's a monster.
I played with his old man.
Oh, you did? Yeah, I'm a fan of that kid. Now
Kansas kids. They're Kansas kids.
Yeah, and he's calm as all get out.
Hey,
nothing rattled him, and he's got feet, and he can rip it too.
Let me dive back into the Travis Hunter take real quick. Why Matt and I get into it, and why all these other guys get into it. Last night, you saw why fucking Travis Hunter will never be the guy you think he will be in the NFL. He cannot withstand this rigor.
It's hard.
He is not going to make it. This is why you cannot say and project he's the best guy ever in the NFL. No, he's not. We don't know what side of the ball he's going to play, A. B, this is what's going to happen. He just doesn't have the physicality or the body type to go out here and do what he's doing. And I gotta ask you real quick as like a poll question, Sean and Jeff. When do you pull back and say, let's start getting you ready for the NFL and let's put you on one side of the football?
That's a good point.
The Heisman's over. The Heisman's over.
Right.
It's time to be, if you want to play daddy ball and be the daddy of Travis and your son.
Be a coach, right?
It's time to now say, I want to be your dad as well as a mentor and say, I need to protect your ass, son.
Here's 2 things that aren't going to happen. Because of the numbers, he's not going to win a Heisman, and they're not going to be in the 12.
That's what I'm saying.
You keep competing. Don't misunderstand me. You keep competing.
But playoff kid will tap out, right? We'll tap out of playing a fucking bowl game, all these kids, and we'll redshirt week 5. We'll redshirt week 5 like we're doing right now.
But in truth, if he wants the best for his quarterback son, if let's say you want him to play wide receiver and say maybe he's a corner in the NFL, maybe he's a wide receiver in the NFL. He's not going to play both in the NFL. Maybe once in a while he'll be a specialty guy, but he's going to have to pick a position and go. He's not as good. He's not Deion. Now he's talking. It's just Deion was the freak show. He's not for. I mean, I give him all the credit in the world for playing both sides of the ball, 100+ snaps a game, phenomenal. But at some point he's not Ohtani who's going to pitch. He's a hell of an athlete and going to be a top pick. But he's going to have to choose one way or the other. And if you really want to take the next step with this, guys, if you're Deion, let's say you want him on the offensive side of the ball, then put him over there. The quarterback's only going to be better because if he chooses one the rest of the year, everybody's numbers are going to go up.
I'd be honest. I'd put him at wideout. I'd put him at wideout.
Let him rip.
I could scheme keeping him healthy.
Yep, agreed.
I could scheme keeping him healthy. Pump up Shador's numbers, break some records. Fuck it, go over there on offense and just outscore people because you could probably outscore people. Shador could probably throw for 400 yards a game in this current landscape, and do it. I wouldn't put him on defense no more, and I would say, you know what, it's time to start picking and choosing your battles.
And then the NFL gets to choose what position they want and when they draft him.
Play wide out the rest of the year, but go get drafted as a corner. We've seen it before. Seen it before. That's what we do. This is what happens in high school every day. You play one position and then they recruit you as a corner. So, I mean, it is what it is, but we'll see. Let's dive into it, Jeff. We got a big slate. We got one game on right now. It's 35-10. Caleb Williams looks good, Sean. Your guy, SC alum.
This is just want to throw this out, Coach, and we talked about it earlier. This is turning into Doug Peterson, I think, is fired tomorrow. I mean, 35-10. It's the Bears. I mean, all due respect, they have a rookie quarterback, for God's sakes. This is embarrassing. The Jags are getting blown the fuck out on live TV, and there's nothing else going on.
That team's good. That team, the
giving up.
They have regressed. They are the next guy to go. Is if this key, I will not be shocked. Just like we got a coach fired on his way home from London, or just when he got back from London last week, right? It may happen again this time. And Caleb Williams is starting to show. I mean, he's a talented guy. He elevated. He played good football last week, guys, in the game. I mean, JB, I know you weren't here, Jeff. I liked Chicago last week against what was it? Dalton? Was it Carolina that they beat up on last week?
Yeah.
And but Williams is starting. He's a very talented guy. He's got mechanical flaws. I get all that, but he's really doing a hell of a job. And Jacksonville is just they're right now. They're playing like a bunch of hacks.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on. There's no continuity here, and then it's a London game. I don't think people want to play there. It is what it is, but it's a shit show. Where you at, Jeff? Let's start. You got it.
Yeah.
Where are we at with the slate?
Let's start it out. Yeah. Cardinals Packers. I know it is a little issue weather-wise there. Rainy, windy. One of the only areas that it is rainy and windy. Packers just kind of been so, right? I mean, Jordan Love back from injury, been able to move the ball at times. Defense has struggled. Kyler Murray, I've always talked about, very good as an underdog. They're getting 5.5, Sean. Cardinals plus 5.5, totals 47. Kyler, been a good underdog. They played well. They've been good in this role. What do you think here?
I'm Arizona in this game. I'm not sure. I don't know if they're going to win the game, but I know Lambeau Field 15 years ago was a brutal place to play. You can still go in there and win games against Green Bay, even though I love their fans. I like Arizona's energy to keep it close. You give me Arizona with 5, and you're giving me 5.5 points. I'm taking Arizona.
They were good last week.
Yep.
Again, though, you're not getting a great number here. Again, if I'm getting 7, I have some interest. The weather makes it a little bit more difficult to me. Rain, wind, not great. Kyler, we know, a little undersized. We know he has small hands, can struggle with the ball, and his hands wet. I'm a little out on this one. I didn't bet it. I'm kind of all over the place with it. JB,
yeah, I wouldn't bet it either, but I think in bad weather, too, it's a little difficult for either side to do what they want, even though one's a little more used to it. And one thing that can happen, though, when you got great feet, you know where you're going. You can make some things happen when the ball – if you can't hold on the ball. I think Arizona's going to hang around in this game. I do.
JB?
Mina, what'd you say? Mina kind of just gave me her pick. I'm going to go with Green Bay as my lock pick of the week, actually.
Ooh.
Why is that?
That's Green Bay as my lock pick of the week. After last week's game against the Rams, they get to come back home. They found a new hidden gem in their tight end that's a freak. I don't think anyone really knew who he was. He's a big old white kid that can roll. I think it's Jordan Love's safety blanket now with those wideouts. Dobbs shitbird ass is back. It's not that he's gonna help a lot, but what he does is, because he is a very talented young kid, he's going to open up other guys in the routine. I think Jordan Love's getting his feet back underneath him. I think the offense rolls today. I think Arizona found out that they just are who they are after the Washington beatdown. I think their confidence is shot. They got to go to Lambeau. Kyler Murray's just going to run around back there. If you watch him play, it's absolutely sad watching the kid play. He's a freak of nature. I think he's either A, being wasted by the staff, or B, just don't get it. Because all you do is see him run around. You don't see him hit this fifth step, throw the fucking ball on time. You never.
He's not going to beat you, JB. Kyler's never going to beat you by a mastermind of what's going on with coverage and fronts and.
But you know what it does, Sean? It makes these these fanboys out here think that it's good football when he makes a fucking 60-yard run, and everyone's like, "Oh, that's what it's about," and it actually makes these people think that he's really good, and he's not. He's not fucking very good at all at the position. He's a freak. He's not very good at the position. So if you want to watch him, I think it hits him in the mouth tonight. I think Green Bay gets going on defense a little bit. And like I said, Jeff, Arizona can score 40 or they can fucking score 3.
Yeah.
Talk about a Dow Jones here. That team one week they look like they can beat anybody. The next week they look like they can't beat anybody.
I did a deep dive in this because it was my pick of the week, Jeff. If you look at the team, they scored 40 on the Rams. It was the most injured-riddled team after that first game they played all season long. It was an anomaly. If you see that game and then you watch the rest that they've played, they've really struggled. I mean, let's be honest. Washington went in there and mud-stomped them with a rookie at Q. Their defense can't stop a cold now. They're one of the worst run defenses now in the last 2.5 games because the second half of the third game was a fucking debacle on defense. I just think they're crumbling really closely, shortening apart, and they're just falling apart right before our very eyes. I think it's a hard place to go to. I think Green Bay is my lock pick of the week.
Yeah, I can see it. I'm kind of lukewarm on this one, so we'll root you in, obviously, with the Packers. Guys, if I told you the best offense in the NFL was the Washington Commanders in week 1, if I told you that now, would you believe me? Probably not, but they are. The second best offense in the NFL is the Baltimore Ravens. 2 teams, Washington area, playing each other today. Here's brass tacks and where I'll go with this. I like Baltimore -6.5 in this game. Couple of reasons why. Washington has one of the worst run defenses in the NFL, giving up over 6 yards a carry. I look at what Aidan Daniels has done. It's been very impressive. I'm curious what he does against this type of defense. I know Baltimore struggled in the past defense at times, but look at what they did to someone like Josh Allen. Something tells me they kind of stomp down here, blitz a little bit, get after him. He has played well. I got to give it to him. I also like the team total for Baltimore. I think they put 30 on the board in this game. This number speaks for itself. As good as the Commanders have been, they're still nearly a touchdown underdog. I think Baltimore wins by 10 plus here.
Yeah, I'm with you on this, Jeff. As much as I like Aidan Daniels, and he truly has, regardless of who they played or what's going on, he's thrust himself. He plays good today. He puts himself in MVP talk at least 5-6 weeks in. He really does. He's played. Yeah. He's obviously right now the rookie of the year going away offensively. Impressive. He's going to be special, but at some point in time they're going to get knocked in the mouth, and this is just the team to do it. Derrick Henry may be at the top of the MVP list by the end of this day, the way he's played. And that's right. Derrick Henry was washed and done, right? Sure he was. Tennessee didn't have a quarterback to take some pressure off him. And Derrick Henry's at his best right now without having to carry it 40 times. To me, this is a no-brainer. As much as I respect Washington and love Aidan Daniels and what they're doing in Washington, it's impressive. Baltimore will continue to prove why they're a Final Four team in the NFL if this keeps up. I got Baltimore.
And before, JB, we get your thoughts, I just want to throw this out. This has a real interesting ring to what we saw in Oregon, Ohio State. If Aidan Daniels, as Sean says, plays well today, let's say they knock off Baltimore, that 11-1 for him to win the MVP is now down to like 5 or 6-1. So he's going to throw his hat in the ring. These favorites to win the MVP right now are lukewarm. I mean, Patrick Mahomes is a favorite, but I'm not sure.
Well, he had his first gaudy week statistically last week.
Right.
No touchdown, though. There's no touchdown.
I know.
Right. But
no doubt. But they keep winning.
Look at his stats, and they got him as the favorite. And you can't tell me this isn't because of the fucking Swifties and the fucking Kelseys and the fucking – there's no way this guy's stats right now are not even top 10.
Right. I mean, he's the favorite by a pretty wide margin. He's at around 3-1. Lamar Jackson 7-1. Stroud 7-1. Josh Allen 7-1.
Where is Sam Darnold? Holy fuck!
They dropped. You know what? They
He's
dropped
out.
him off after one game that he completed less than.
Yeah, he didn't play well last week. That's the
why. And yet they still won, and they dropped him down the list. He's just completely out. You know why?
Lamar had 2 shitty first weeks.
The reason why, JB, is because Sam Darnold's a journeyman. We're not supposed to trust him. He has one bad game. We got to drop him out. Sam Darnold, and now if he goes and throws for 350, different ball game. But let's see, who's on a bye week this week?
Vikings.
There you go. So we don't get him. That's right, because I was on in Minnesota. I thought they were not playing this week, but just like that. Because now if Mahomes has a bad week because of his history, they're not going to drop him down. He's going to hang in
already.
Yeah.
I'm going to just go through.
Can I ask one question about this game?
Yeah.
If somebody came up to you and said, "I want to put $500 on Baltimore, Dave," what would you tell them?
I would say make sure you're getting 6.5. That's a strong bet to me. I would also say you look at the total in this game, 51.5, very high in the NFL. We do not see totals like this much anymore. That said, we look at Baltimore, JB. Last week, another very high-scoring game. Baltimore is bad in the pass defense. So if Daniels can move the ball, it's going to be throwing.
Here's my take. I didn't get to give it yet. I'm just telling you right now. Washington wins the football game because Baltimore's 31st in the fucking NFL in pass coverage. They're fucking atrocious. Their defense. This is not the Baltimore Ravens, bro. I'm just telling you, this is not the Baltimore Ravens defense you all fell in love with.
But Josh Allen struggled against them
because they struggled on offense. Washington's not going to struggle on offense. Here's the problem: Washington's going to score, and they're going to have the ball. The Bills, when you're 3 and out, guess what happens? Guess what happens when you go 3 and out, Jeff, as a quarterback? Now I have to fucking force everything because I'm down because Baltimore just ran it down my throat on the other end, and now I'm down and I'm forcing shit. Washington's going to play with the lead as they have the last 3 weeks, and that's when Jaden Daniels looks like unbelievable, and they get the ball to McLaurin, and they run the football, and they keep people off balance. Baltimore's secondary is bad. Their linebacker, besides one linebacker, is really, really suspect. Their D-line plays when they want to, if you really watch them. And I'm just telling you, right now, their offense is starting to blend, which I said they would not do to start the season. I said it's going to be a struggle to blend Henry and Lamar. Now they're starting to look better. Everyone's like, oh, it's going to be work, JB. I thought you said they couldn't blend. Wait till the resume gets out. It's week fucking 5. Wait till week 9, 10, 11, 12 happen, and they start loading the box and telling Lamar to throw it over my cover 0 coverage, which you cannot do.
So you think Washington's winning the game outright?
I think they're going to win the game. Yep.
But see, here's what I would do if I'm you. Like, we know Baltimore will score. Like, that's going to happen. And for the Redskins to hang in the game, they're going to have to score. And that defense stinks as well. So why not just play the over? Both teams get to 27, game flies over. You don't have to worry about who wins or loses. I will say he's not wrong with the Ravens. Their secondary sucks. They have played the Cowboys, who throw the ball a lot. They played the Bengals, who throw the ball a lot. They played the Bills, who throw the ball a lot. But you're right. This could get ugly. That secondary stinks.
Yeah, and what happens is I would think Cliff Kingsbury comes out, Sean, and you know Cliff, I know Cliff. I say they come out and run the football. And they start running the football, which is going to start getting the box tactic heavy. And then you're going to get Baltimore to load the box up a little bit, and they're going to run naked. They're going to run RPO. They're going to run boot naked, and they're going to hit you over the top with McLaurin and these pretty decent wideouts that they got in Washington. Jaden Daniels is accurate. He leads the league in passing percentage, touchdown to interception ratio, and then he can run triple option and pull the football and get you 30. So, I think that this is a prime spot for Washington to go over here. Where's the game at?
Baltimore.
It's in Baltimore.
And this is the battle of the DMV. This ain't a travel game, Sean. This ain't a far across country.
Yeah, what does that mean to Jaden Daniels? He don't care about that.
But I'm just saying they're not having to go nowhere. They slept in the comfort of their home. This is the battle of the DMV. This is the battle of the DMV. It's not a travel game.
Well, you're on the other side of me and Sean. We like the Baltimore Ravens keep going. Derrick Henry looks great. And by the way, speaking of MVP, Derrick Henry is nowhere near the top levels either. He is
last 3 games because the first 3 weren't very good. That's why I was telling you he doesn't blend.
He's 75-1 to win the MVP.
I think that's a hell of a futures. I think that's a hell of a you throw some money on that. You'll be in the mix when the season goes.
Well, here's the problem. I mean, they just don't give it to anyone other than
quarterback. They're going to give it to a quarterback. There's no doubt.
So we're on the other side. JB likes Washington plus 6.5. We like Baltimore minus 6.5. Let's rock. Next one. We go from a pretty good game to kind of an ugly game. And I'm going to tell you why this is an ugly game. The Houston Texans, this is a broken football team, okay? And I'm going to tell you why. I know the Patriots stink. I get it. They can't move the ball. Drake May's starting. But there's a few things I like. They're at home.
Averaging 12.5 points a game.
Right. That said, their defense is pretty good. And CJ Stroud has been a disaster outside of Houston. They also, Sean, analytically, the only team worse analytically than them on offense has been the Cleveland Browns. Tank Dell looks hurt. Stephon Diggs is out fucking every rapper he can that's a female.
No Nico today.
No Nico. Yeah, right. And you look at the numbers without Nico, they're ugly. The penalties are a problem. They can't run the ball because Joe Mixon hasn't played. We've talked about Larry Tunsil and his issues. Defensively, I think they're average.
But they hit you. They will run. Now, they're leading the league in pressure percentage. They are leading the league. They're at the top of the league in pressure percentage. They may not be getting a lot of sacks, but they are putting quarterbacks in a rookie quarterback who's going to face a whole bunch of different looks. And I'm gonna take the other side on real quick. I haven't picked. I'm going to let you pick it, Jeff. I want to hear, but I'm going to take the rookie quarterback a lot of looks, and he'll feel at times he can throw it, but he'll feel at times like he's playing against 15 defenders. They've got no weapons in New England. I would argue that the reason they're 4-1 is that C.J. Stroud is keeping them afloat. He really is. The offensive line, and they have no run game. And as you mentioned, without Joe Mixon, and their offensive line has not been good. It's, moving the line of scrimmage, and CJ's been – they cut down a little bit in this first half last week on penalties. But C.J. Stroud's a big reason why they are. And they're flying around defense. I would beg to differ. I don't think New England can go 3 series, 75 yards and score. You get to 21, you win the game. I don't think New England scores 2 touchdowns in the game.
I'm with Sean on this.
I think Stroud is the reason they are staying afloat with all this stuff around. I don't think this game's close.
But hold on a second. I just want to throw this out there. In C.J. Stroud's young career, 1/3 of his passing yards have been to Nico Collins. And the truth is, on the road, he has just a 92 passer rating, and he's 4-5 in his career. Also, ask yourself this. For as bad as the Patriots are, this number has not been pushed to 7. That is a strong indication that the Patriots are going to be right in this football game. A lot like that Jags game a couple of weeks ago with Houston, where, look, every game Houston plays, go back to week 1 with Indy. That game should have been a lot worse for Indy, and it wasn't. They were right in the game.
Oh, no doubt about it, Jeff. They're not beating up on anybody. They're finding ways to win, and I think good teams do that instead of finding ways to lose. Jacksonville and a few other teams. So you are right. They have not played a complete game yet, which tells me why they're not going to – I think they got Green Bay next week, so they're not going to look at this as a trap game because they know they haven't played great football yet. But Stroud, considering the circumstances, a lesser man, they wouldn't be 4-1. They'd be 2-3 because their team, the penalties and their like the lack of run game. Now, I don't know. Has Mixon been announced out? He's been practicing this week and got more love. Has he been announced? You sure he's out? Because if he's in, it's a whole different ballgame on play action.
Does Dr. Morse have his injury report out?
He's active.
There you go. And he practiced on Wednesday, on Thursday, on Friday. I'm just telling you right now, I know everybody says, well, they're an ugly 4-1. But tell me on offense. Now, New England has a propensity to hang in games. You are right. They will. They hang around. Their offense isn't good. They don't have any danger. I think their number 1 back, isn't he out? Somebody's out for New England. I can't remember who it is.
Here's the thing, Sean.
And they're playing a rookie.
But Drake May has to be better than what they've had, right?
Oh, there's no doubt. But what's better? Get you 14 points instead of 12.5? No, put it this way. This will be a debilitating loss if the Texans, Nico Collins or not. They still have – you take Nico Collins out of the game and give me 10 penalties, the Texans roster is still triple the doggone Patriots. And I have a lot of respect for Mayo and the rest of it. Where are their points coming from today?
Well, yeah, and I get all your points. I think you're 100% right. That said, as someone, gambler, why isn't this number higher? I don't
know, because it's a road game. They're 0-7. The last 7 games, they haven't won in New England, but Tom Brady and Bill Belichick aren't there. And I respect Drake May and May. I just don't know where their points are coming from. And I don't think enough people are giving enough love to the Texans defense. They may not have gaudy sack numbers. They're going to hit Drake. And I'm telling you, they're going to show him a bunch of shit. And to me, make a rookie go through some zone reads and happen to be a full field reader. You'll start to try. I know, and haven't been there. You start to invent shit and borrow trouble. I love New England's their whole run over these years. This ain't your dad's New England Patriots or even your brother's New England Patriots. This is, I don't see first team to 20 wins, and I'm not sure that the Patriots can get to 17 in this game. This game feels 31-6, 31-10 to me, 27-7 to me. I don't know how the Patriots are going to muster up points unless the Texans decide to miss a team bus and to think that they're playing a Friday night football game. I don't see how the Patriots score very many points. I just don't.
Here's why I think the line is what you think, Jeff. First of all, Nico's out. They don't know about Mixon. He hasn't played in weeks, and that's going to be part of the line, in my opinion. And the second part, I agree what you're saying, Jeff, but I agree. I also think that teams find a way at this stage of the season. If they win at this clip, then I think it's dangerous for the league going forward because they're figuring out ways without Mixon, without Tank Dell, without Nico. They're figuring it out. And remember, this is C.J. Stroud's second year, bro. Let's not act like this guy's been on the road 37 times like Tua has. This guy is figuring it out. He was
on the road a bunch last year, JB, with a 3-10 team or 3-win team the year before. And remember, this is eerie for the Texans because they came off a bye week last year and went to Carolina and got their ass whooped at Carolina. So that sits in their craw. I don't think DeMeco Ryans allows this to happen. To me, I think if I needed a quarterback the next 5 years and I had to pick one in the top 5, C.J. Stroud's one of the first 5 going.
But again,
5 picks.
We don't know what he is without Nico Collins. Nico Collins leads the league in receiving.
I know he does. But they still have enough weapons. I know what C.J. Stroud is when it comes to delivering the football. I think they.
I mean, Tank Dell looks hurt.
If Tank returns and he's
Tank
back
playing, Tank, he's not hurt.
No, I'm saying if he
returns, in. Right. Well, today's the day what he is. Got to elevate to be a number one guy. I'm just and having Mixon's presence.
Well,
I think C.J. Stroud's a fantastic player, and one thing he does do, even when things aren't going well, at the end, he guy's got balls now. He knows how to win late games. And he played 15 regular season games, a playoff because he was hurt. He played 17 games. They won a playoff game. He missed 2 games with a concussion. He's in the infancy of his career. And I wouldn't pass. He wouldn't get by the 5th pick of this draft if I was picking quarterbacks to move forward. But even then, who's CJ Stroud? Who the fuck are the Patriots?
I know. By the way, the 25th
game.
25th worst pass defense is who the New England
Patriots. I'm Tim. I got 2 games I'm leaning on. This is one of mine. I haven't even decided yet. I will by the end of this show. This to me is a friggin' lock, unless they decide not to.
Listen, you guys, I disagree with considerably. Keep in mind, the Houston Texans have not won a game by more than 7 this year. They won't do it today either. I love the New England Patriots plus 6.5. Me and Sean couldn't be more opposite here. I love New England. Give me New England, baby.
That's why it's a real show. You get now you guys got to go make your picks because we're giving you all the insight that you can get. And this ain't no fucking woke ass ESPN.
From one young quarterback to another, I was very high going into the NFL draft this year I like Spencer Rattler. I think he could have some tools. He's going to get an opportunity today for the New Orleans Saints. JB, I'll start with you on your opinion. Tampa's played really well. Baker's looked good at times. This group's looked really solid. They have Mike Evans and Chris Godwin. Defense has been okay. He's like Kyler. Spencer Rattler getting 3.5 at home today. What are your thoughts here on this game?
And JB, real quick, that the strength was supposed to be the Tampa Bay Buccaneers defense going into the season. They've been nothing. Their strength has been nothing, quite the opposite, to be honest with you, which means at some point they're going to have to elevate defensively. And I'm sure a rookie quarterback is what Todd Bowles is looking to, get after.
That's why, in my opinion, I think Kamara goes nuts. If you're picking anything DFS today, I'm taking Kamara on every fucking DFS card you can take. He owns the Bucs when he's healthy. This is a kid I think that will have a huge game tonight because of the rookie Q. I like the Saints actually getting it done because of the Bucs' inept defense, to your point. But I do agree, playing a rookie helps their defense. But I think the run game and what they do creativity-wise with Olave and and stuff like that, I think they can come back and win. I think they beat the Bucs tonight.
Yeah, and it's the strength of the Saints has been their defense is always going to hang around. They're good defensively. They always have been.
And if you watch Baker, Jeff, last few games, he's really kind of.
This is a game I don't. It's at home for New Orleans. Sometimes rookies can be overwhelmed, and then sometimes rookies can have that naive stuff where they don't really give a shit and they go out and play. Who's Spencer Rattler, the guy that was supposed to be the first pick in the draft, or the guy that got humbled and then went to South Carolina and actually started to play better football and will validate that he should have been drafted higher?
Hey, who's that fast kid? Who's a kid that takes a top off at New Orleans? Shaheed?
Yeah, Shaheed.
Watch, because Spencer Rattler throws the deep ball well. Watch him hit Shaheed for a couple big plays today that'll take the coverage off so they can run the football with.
And you know what Clint Kubiak's going to want to do, to your point, JB, about running. Kubiak's going to want to do what his dad did, what Shanahan does, what they all do. They want to run that inside-outside zone. They want zone read. They want to get that thing going downhill and cut back, should I say, cut back runs and push by, and Kamara will be perfect, foot in the ground. They're going to try to control it, but you can't be overly conservative with a rookie quarterback. You are going to have to take some shots. And the greatest thing for a young quarterback, JB, I don't know if you agree about it, if you show man and want to pressure, you take the decision-making out of the quarterback. He doesn't have to go through progressions. If you press me and play man and decide to come after me, my rookie quarterback, now it's a one-man read now. I'm going to take a Lavi or Shaheed on a big play, and now you don't have to go through the progressions. What's the toughest thing for a young quarterback to do? Not beat one read fade throws or throwing the ball down the field. It's to drop back, take 5 in a hitch, and go through your reads, because by the time they get to the second one, what do? They bail out, run into a sack, or use their strengths and do something different. So if you're going to play a lot of man and pressure him, you better get to him or big plays can happen. I wouldn't touch this one because I really don't know what what Tampa defense is going to show up. And regardless, going on the road, and Tampa, even when Brady was there, when they went to New Orleans, always had trouble. It's a hard place to play. And there's going to be a little energy in the building because of Rattler. There is. I go on a show in New Orleans every week, and they're kind of anticipating some excitement. It's 3.5, Jeff. That hook makes me think New Orleans. This feels like a field goal game.
Yeah, it does.
I'm not sure. I'm not going to bet this game, but I'm tempted to, because sometimes, and I'm anxious to see who Rattler is. Is he the Arizona Sky? I mean, coming out of high school Rattler when he went to Oklahoma, or is he the guy who folded when Caleb Williams took his job, right? Or is he the rejuvenated guy? I'm anxious to see if there's a bone to pick with him of where he was drafted from first to 5th round.
When it comes to the Bucs, what do we know about this team, right? I mean, they lost last time out against Atlanta. They beat an Eagles team who had nobody on offense. The top receivers were out. They got beat up by the Broncos, only scored 7 points in that game. What exactly is this team? I like the Saints. I think this is a good position to be in for Spencer. He's got Kamara, as JB alluded to, Shaheed, Olave, a pretty good defense. 3.5, I'll gladly take 3.5 at home. That's a raucous crowd down there.
Would you bet it with 3, Jeff, or do you love the hook?
Well, I like the fact that I'm getting an underdog here. I think this is a great spot. I like Rattler.
Home too, right?
Yeah, I love that home atmosphere.
Here's another thing. The last 4 teams we've talked about have been at the bottom 10 in the NFL in pass defense, and the Bucs are exactly the same team. The Bucs are horrific in pass coverage. They're 28th. They're 28th in the league right now in pass coverage, and this is why I usually would not take a rookie, but in this case with Shaheed and Olave and some guys like that this rookie can say, you know what, we're going to play some 7-on-7 today against a shit-ass back row. Watch some big plays happen against this shitty-ass back row.
Vanilla Ice would say, check out the hook. Well, my D-Shay revolves it. 3.5. If I was betting it, I'd lean towards New Orleans with that with the hook, man. I'm with you guys.
You know that New Orleans team, like they got like 4 San Diego kids. I know Olave and the Shaheed kid are both from Mount Carmel or something.
Mount Carmel, dude. Pronounce it right. A rival of mine in high school.
Did you pronounce it right? Because they used to tap that ass.
Yeah, get the fuck out of here, dude. The fuck out of here.
Okay, by the way,
Billy Bean, the AA's GM, would hit about 600 in high school. They had Darren Balsley was their pitcher, and he was a pitching coach for the Padres for years. I used to wear those bitches out.
By the way, we would pronounce it Carmel. Totally different.
Carmel, Indiana. It's Mount Carmel is how we pronounce it in San Diego. We ain't fucking on the East Coast, Jeffy.
I feel you.
shit, brother. You feel me?
Yeah, totally different. You guys are way
West
out
Coast
there. I'm
rap
here.
on the West Coast, JB.
Hey, hey, Sean. They also they call it Lancaster, like they do in Texas. You know how we call it Lancaster.
Yeah, that's Lancaster out in California. Lancaster's Amish country out in Pennsylvania, no doubt.
And it's in Texas. It's on the corridor, and that's why I used to recruit the shit out of the I-10 corridor, where you got Carter, Lancaster. All those schools are right there on the I-10 corridor. Yeah, you're talking to the fucking best recruiter in America. Yeah, I know all that shit. But anyway,
you know anything about D?
What?
Yeah.
Oh, come on with this. Don't do this today.
The only reason I did it so Jeff would get a smile. That's why I wasn't even going with one today, Jeff. Okay, there you go.
Well, let's go to something that has not really given me smiles. The Philadelphia Eagles back at home today, -8 against the struggling and rancid Cleveland Browns. Guys, the last time the Philadelphia Eagles won by double digits, almost a calendar year ago. Last did it in week 7 against Miami last year. It's been almost a year. It's been rough sledding for the Eagles. They don't win a lot of games by a wide margin. That said, a lot of people in this town this week are talking about this is a perfect time. Everybody back. Cleveland's terrible. They can't get anything going. That said, it's hard for me to envision the Eagles. They always play down a competition, these kind of games. It could get ugly with the Phillies losing this week. If Jalen Hurts comes out and plays poorly on a series or two, you're going to start hearing boos. Sirianni, you're going to start hearing
shit in danger, Jeff? If they go out and shit,
is his job in danger? If
they lose, in season danger.
If he loses today, I gotta tell you, I don't think they'll do it. But this fan base will rain down on that organization if he loses to the Browns.
Rightfully so.
Yeah,
the Browns have been shitty on offense, and Deshaun Watson hadn't played a lick.
And look at why they've been shitty. I've been saying this for weeks, and JB, you know this. You guys know this. They have a complete culture identity, play identity at this team. They're a run the football first team. Okay, they don't have any running backs, though, unfortunately. They're throwing the ball 40 times a game. Deshaun Watson's getting hit. I think he's been sacked 25 times. That is not sustainable. This defense doesn't look like the same defense. They're just messy.
A lot of those sacks on Watson. Watson runs into sacks too, JB. You and I both know it. He doesn't get protections. He doesn't.
Here's where the Eagles can get right, because this team right here it's like I'm just waiting for Deshaun Watson to get yanked off the football field by authorities at this point. Like,
I would have started Jameis Winston this week. I would have.
Yeah, this guy's so fucking mentally fucked. I don't know how they continue to start the kid after he walked off the field last week. They had a big old issue there. I think that Stefanski's lost this team, this roster, this locker room. I don't know how Stefanski's not number 1 on the board is getting fired. Number 2, the GM there. And then obviously, how are they going to continue this because of this overpaid kid that's just unbelievably over?
With all the issues that he has, how do you not have any running backs to fucking run the ball with?
They got Ford. They've been handing it to Ford a little more.
Good enough, KB.
Now Kareem,
I get it, but you got to hand it.
City rushing for 100+ yards. You know what I mean? It's unbelievable. Yeah. Cleveland should be better. They absolutely should be better.
And what you just said is the reason.
Deserve better. Yeah.
If the Philadelphia Eagles, let's just say they win a close game, Sean, that's not good enough.
They need to boat race. They need to boat race Cleveland. You're right.
You need a 38-10 type of game. That's what people in this town expect in this game. Because you have everybody back. There's no more excuses. And I don't want to hear Jalen Hurts. I don't want to hear the excuses. You're not throwing the ball into triple coverage. You've got all your weapons back. Goddard's good to go. You got a great running back. Run the football. Take care of business. Don't let Deshaun Watson beat you. You got to be clinical today. Do I think the Eagles do it? I can't trust them, but.
Would you bet it, Jeff?
I think it's. I think 8's fine. I think that's fine. I wouldn't want to bet 11, but I think they win by, 31.
Inside double digits, they win, is what you're saying.
And this guy's the worst.
Okay.
He is the fucking worst, dude. He is the worst. Look at this guy.
Let me check his shit out real quick.
He's the worst, dude. Look at him.
Okay, who's hotter, him or who pulls more, him or JB? Who could pull more in a bar?
He does kind of look like JB.
That's what I'm saying. He's just got more hair. Let's say, Jeff, you and I and JB and Sirianni walk into a bar in Scottsdale at spring training where if you can't pull there, then you might as well take 2 weeks off and quit. We walk in, we're sitting at the bar, and like 3 or 4 like Zoids walk in that are just it's freakazoids that are off the chart. Like the JB's like, I could pull that. One weighs like 225, which is right where JB go. Okay, about 225, biscuit away from about 250, and they all of a sudden they're sitting at the bar. Who pulls more, Jeff? JB or Sirianni?
I would say Sirianni.
JB. Do I got to go with my boy for? JB? I'm going to go with my West Coast friend. JB, your rap alone can pull more, right? You're from Compton. You can pull more, right? Thank you and good night.
What's with the newly?
You're not from the LBC, but you can pull more. But okay, who pulls more over 200? Jeff. JB, no doubt.
Hey, short fat skinny tall. Short fat skinny tall. I'll fuck them all. So
all it is 200 or bigger is big boned, JB.
But I'm just gonna say, what's with the Aryan Brotherhood haircut from Nick Sirianni?
Yeah, you can't not everybody can rock a bald head. I'm just gonna tell you.
Yeah, what's up with what's up with that haircut?
He looks like he's straight out of fucking what's the movie where
American History X.
American History X.
He's got the pinhead cut.
And is there anybody in Jeff's case? Is there any white boy who's got a tighter trimmer, a tighter? I mean that whoever your barber is, dude, is righteous.
Shout out to my guy.
Then there's me. Shit's everywhere.
You got the you're old. What do you expect?
Hey, fuck off. Okay.
Sirianni's got the Peckerwood haircut today. I love it. No, you are a little older.
Hey, he's about to go to the yard, Sean. Sirianni's headed to the fucking yard with the wood.
He really does.
Movie he's in Den of Thieves.
Oh, goddamn. All right,
he looks like he's going to San Quentin today.
I'm taking the Eagles, but listen why. I'm going to tell you why the Eagles have declined. Because Jalen Hurts has declined. And it's been a 2-year process. I told you, although mechanically Sean and I broke him down 2 years ago, he was getting better and blah, blah, blah. They go to a Super Bowl. The book has been out on him, like I said. And the book is now showing that this cat can't hit his third and fifth step and throw the goddamn ball on time. If you watch him over the last year, he's gotten worse and worse and worse. And he had A.J. Brown and Devontae Smith and a tight end who was a top 5 tight end in football and Goddard. And I don't understand. Now you got Saquon. I get the wideouts have been a little hurt and the continuity may be thrown off. But damn. If we're going to give fucking Shedeur Sanders credit for coming back last night without 2 of his wideouts, then how Jalen Hurts deciding a big contract don't get the same heat.
But I just can't fathom at home Philly letting a Cleveland offense that's inept beat him. I'm with you, Jeff. Give me with that spread. They may not beat him by 2 touchdowns, but if I'm betting that game, I'm taking Philly.
I like 31-21 seems a lot more likely than 24-21. Can I see that Sirianni picture one more time? Does he have a shank in his pocket, JB?
Does he have a what?
A shank.
What the fuck?
Looks like he's going to San Quentin, for Christ's sakes.
On the left side there, on the angle, on the 45 there.
Look at all the people too. They're like, "What a douche."
He's also flipping you off with a low left hand. He look left low. He's like, "Hey man."
By the way,
hey Sean, is he or is the motherfucker just not very smart?
And by the way,
he is. Oh my god, I didn't see that.
Yeah, a little left hand flip off. Like, don't take a picture of me, you prick.
I didn't see that.
And by the way, Jeff, let's get back to me being. Do I look that old, motherfucker?
No, I'm just.
Sean don't age. Sean don't age.
By the way,
look at this. He's got that. Well, let me get this right. Like, he's got that low like this, like just a sneak one. It's a sneak attack. Look at that.
Hey,
yeah,
is he throwing up the Esco?
No, dude, he ain't throwing up no Esco. It's here. He ain't he wasn't no part of Esco. He couldn't handle the mean streets. Tell him to stick to the Den of Thieves, man. He don't want no part of this.
All right, let's get to Colts Titans. IR.
What a stellar game this one is.
Well, IR5 is out. AR5 is out, and that might be good news.
I'd start Flacco anyway right now.
IR5 is out.
That gives him a better chance to win right now.
Hey, hold on though. Is IR5 out, or did they say no? We're starting Flacco because everything I've read is he's healthy. He's healthy enough to go.
I just don't think he's been. Yeah, I just don't think he's been very good. He's out. Flacco will play. This number's come down from 3 to 2.5. So the bookmakers respect Flacco a little bit here. I do too. He's the better quarterback in this game. If I'm the Titans, though, you're off a bye. Why not make a change? Mason Rudolph played pretty well. He's a better option.
Suiting up, by the way. He's suiting up, too. So IR5 will be suited up. So that tells me something that either, okay, we've got to win some games, and this rookie's not it, or the second-year guy's not it.
I like Jody Flacco in this one, man.
Me too.
Yeah, listen, Jeffrey Simmons back for Tennessee. That's an underrated defense there. They got weapons. I wish Mason Rudolph was playing. I can't believe I'm saying that, but
Jeff, here's another DFS pick, though. I'm going to tell you right now. Pollard, heavy, because this run defense for the Colts is shitty. And I'm just telling you right now, Pollard and the Tennessee team understands what they have at quarterback, and they're going to run the ball heavy with Pollard. Pollard and Kamara, my 2 running backs this week. Make sure you check them out.
There you go. Kamara and Pollard. That's a good shout, JB. This is a tough game. I like the under a little bit. 42. It seems a bit high to me. I think this is first to 20 wins. Bad, not great quarterback. I won't say bad quarterback play. One quarterback's bad. I don't know what to expect from Flacco, but that's a good defense. I think this is like a 2017 type of game. I like the under 42.
Yeah.
Sean or JB, Michael Davis is going to have a coronary. What is the point in sending a super chat if you don't respond? JB says, give him a shout.
Where's he at?
Get that stick out of your mouth, JB. And
yeah, he's been blowing up the chat. He sent super chats. You're not responding. What's the point in doing that?
I didn't even see him.
JB, basically what he's saying, you arrogant prick, respond.
I'm a slap dick. I'm sorry, Michael Davis.
Also, somebody's saying here, someone dropped a video saying if Nadu went to prison, he would get extorted. That's untrue. Actually, that guy did 10 years in prison. And he said he absolutely would not get extorted. In fact, they would welcome him because he's talked nice about mob guys for the most part.
Casey, get
your fucking facts straight, motherfucker.
And if you want great mafia podcast talk, the man in this podcast is no better in the country than my man. He's no what's my guy? Who did Gotti kill again on the street out in front of Sparks Steakhouse? Castellano.
Paul Castellano.
He's no Paul Castellano, but he's no doorknob either. I'm with Jeff Nadu on this, man. Whatever Jeff says about the mafia, I'm in, brother.
There's a reason I'm number one in that world. Thank you, my friend. Appreciate that. So we're lukewarm on this game. JB likes Pollard, maybe some props. I kind of like the under a little bit.
And if I was picking a game, I'd take the Colts. I think Flacco's the best quarterback on the field in this one.
Jeff, let's try to get through the game so these guys can get their picks in, and we can.
Yeah, we got a couple of more 4 o'clock slate. Quick here. We got about 15 minutes. Chargers Broncos 4:05. 1:05.
I gotta. This is the game I want to talk about.
Okay.
I want to right out the gate, Jeff. Defensively, what the Chargers have on offense right now, as far as who's injured, who's not, who's fully healthy, blah blah blah. And then this Denver defense is showing up to be a top 5 defense in the NFL, which a lot of people probably didn't pick at the beginning of the season. And then you got Bo Nix over there with Sean Payton just figuring out how to win games. Beat the Jets, beat the Raiders. They're on a high. Man, I think that the Chargers are walking into a buzzsaw, Sean.
What's the number here, JB? What's the number, Jeff?
Chargers are -2.5 at Denver.
And what's the overall number?
The over-under is 35.5. Very low.
I'm taking heavy J.K. Dobbins. I'm taking heavy fucking get the football to tight end. And, I think it's a low-scoring football game, Jeff. I really do. I think
we got 2 good defenses here. Denver's been very good. I'll take the better quarterback. Give me Herbert. I'll lay 2.5. I think it's another tough number. Broncos been really good. This should be a great chess match between 2 good defenses, AFC West. I mean, could these 2 teams I would love to see them kind of anoint themselves in the AFC West for once. Fuck the Chiefs.
Hey, let me ask you, Jeff, if it was 3.5, what would you do, Jeff? With your expertise.
If it were 3.5, I would take the dog. I think it's the fact that it's 2.5 makes you want to back the Chargers with the better quarterback.
No doubt. Take Denver's defense slightly at home. Well, I'm going to take the home. I'm going to take. I actually, this would be a money line pick. I like Denver in this game. Although, when in doubt, I always take the better quarterback. I just think Denver's better, and if the Chargers were the dog, it'd be different. But as a home dog in this, I like Denver's defense in this game.
I'll just say it. Not that it matters that much from a points per game standpoint. The Chargers actually have a better defense than Denver. Just throwing that out there. Throw in the fact they have the better quarterback too. I trust the Chargers all of a sudden.
You love Harbaugh's the way he approaches it. I know that. I
do. I with a team that for years never won these kind of close games with the Mike McCoys and the Staleys and all those guys. They just have a great coach, great hire. Yeah, JB, so you're on the Broncos, JB.
I'm taking the Broncos, man. The Chargers have struggled on offense the last few weeks. If you look at it, Herbert's finally off the injury report, but that doesn't mean he's not banged up. So I just don't know.
He's a gamer.
Yeah, I don't know. He's full go. I don't like their wideouts. I think he's getting McConkey the ball more than he has to because he doesn't have wideouts. Quentin Johnson is a guy that we thought was going to be better than he was. He's gotten better this year under Harbaugh's tutelage, but he's still not that guy. He's not that number one for sure that we thought. I just don't know if Denver loads the box, which is one of the best run defenses, overall defenses, pass defense. I mean, they got one of the best corners in football. In my opinion, he's the best corner in football. And Patrick Surtain Jr., the third or whatever, is not good for the Chargers right now in this first year of Harbaugh. I didn't expect Harbaugh to go win the Super Bowl year one. He's building, and I didn't expect Denver to be very good with a rookie QB, but their defense is better than I think anyone thought. I'm taking Denver at home in Mile High Stadium. The footballs get bigger there, Sean, as you know. The elevation's harder. The helmets get fatter. If anyone knows about high elevation, you got to let the air out of your helmet. If you don't know anything about it, you never fucking played football, so just shut the fuck up. And this game right here in Mile High is not easy for a team from Los Angeles to go travel and play in over the next in a 2-day span.
A young team too. That's a good point.
Yeah. So I'm just telling you, I like Denver here at home with Sean Payton and Harbaugh matchup. I think it's a low scoring game. I wouldn't be blown away if it's a 13-10 game, guys.
Yeah, I wouldn't. I was just going to go there. I would look. 35 is a low.
You usually take the lowest under of the week and take the under. That's kind of the way I've had success doing that. When you take the lowest under of the week, there's a reason.
I mean, the Chargers are the slowest team in the NFL by almost a play a game. I mean, they're very slow. JB mentioned they can't throw the football. Denver's not exactly good offensively either. This could absolutely be first to 14, first to 16 wins.
Like a 16-13 type game, doesn't it, guys?
Yep.
17-14, 13-10.
Going to be a real chess match, I think. Another game.
It'll be 49-48, and we'll fucking look stupid. So it is what it is.
Another low-scoring game.
Wouldn't be the first time we look stupid, so that's okay.
Well, yeah, you guys look stupid pretty regularly, especially JB. That said, let's go to the next 405-105 game. Steelers-Raiders. This could be a low-scoring game, too. I'm just going to say it. Enough with Justin Fields. Justin Fields fucking stinks. Enough with Justin Fields.
Russell's healthy.
Russell's swinging off Russell Wilson's nuts, Jeffy.
Justin Fields stinks. He can't throw the ball 10 yards or more. He stinks.
Hey, Russell's suiting up. Russell's suiting up. Is Russell getting the nod here?
He should.
He's not, though. I think he's going to be suited up, though. I wouldn't be surprised if he gets in the game, Sean.
Yeah, I was going to say, if they're kicking it around and getting their ass handed to him early and Fields isn't playing well, you will see Russ Wilson in the game, in my opinion.
And by the way, I'm just going to give you a straight money line pick of the week. Money line pick right here. Raiders getting the win. The Raiders are going to win the football game.
And remember, the Raiders have benched Gardner Minshew and are going with your guy, JB. You like
Yep. I called it. I said about week 5, Aidan O'Connell.
Aidan O'Connell.
I think Aidan keeps Devontae Adams in Vegas because he's a big arm thrower, and that's what Devontae Adams needs. And I think he keeps the Raiders, AP, Antonio Pierce, his job. That's how good I think Aidan O'Connell will be. Is he going to be a Pro Bowler? No, I'm not saying all that. I'm just telling you, he gives the Raiders what the Raiders have always been, a shot down the field offense with a run game and a solid defense. Antonio Pierce is going to play Coach McCoughlin type of style. You're going to play nutty-gutty on defense, run the football, and have a big arm quarterback like they had with Eli and these other guys, and they're going to throw the ball and control it with those 2 tight ends. Well, one of those fucking pussies quit or not playing today, but at least they still have the other real good one. So get the tight end the ball. Get this receiver, what's his name? I believe Miller. I'm not sure. He actually had some catches last week. He's another fill-in guy at wideout. They'll get him the football, get the tight end the ball. Turner, yeah. And then Devontae comes back, and I think you'll see a little bit better on offense. I think the Raiders stop the run, which they do pretty decent. I think Max Crosby will pin his ears back, and I think that the Raiders will get the win. This is my money line pick. It's in Vegas, Jeff. Steelers don't play great on the West. So I'm just throwing that out there.
Yeah, listen, I think we just talked about the under in the game before. I mean, this could be an ugly game too. I mean, Steelers, we know, good defense, 2 quarterbacks that I don't like on both sides. I mean, Raiders are pretty solid defensively. This could be another first to 14 wins. Sean, what do you like here?
I think that the Raiders are going to win the game at home, period. And they're getting 3 on the line.
Yes,
I'm looking at +3. I think this is Raiders all the way money line pick. I don't trust the Steelers offense while I do the defense. It won't shock me if it's like 17-13 Raiders at home. And I think O'Connell's ability to throw the ball vertically as opposed to just horizontally like they're used to with Gardner Minshew makes a big difference. Raiders win today.
The Raiders have the 15th best pass defense, which they're right in the middle. They're not bad. Pittsburgh is lower than them at 18 or 16, so they're right behind. Those two have a middle of the row, second row, but one of them has a passer, one of them has a thrower. The Pittsburgh Steelers have a thrower if Justin Fields is in there. The Raiders now have a passer of the football, which doesn't bode well for Pittsburgh. And I don't know if they're going to get this ball to the shitbird Pickens. I don't know if Justin Fields is going to have success early. And then we're going to be screaming now to get Russell Wilson in the game. And that's when you have a little bit of contention and some different thoughts on the sideline. And I think it's prime time for the Raiders to win the game at home.
Well, it's funny because what a surprise. A Mike Tomlin offense sucks. Shocking. Insane. It's insane that he's still the coach. Just because so mid, it's not even funny. Yet he's still there.
Yeah, they win 9 to 10 games every single year, but I understand it's been a long time since
they don't win shit in the playoffs.
I get it.
Either does Harbaugh, but Harbaugh's in Baltimore. You guys love Harbaugh in Baltimore. They haven't won a Super Bowl at the same fucking time.
I just want to.
I hold Mike Tomlin in a little bit higher regard than you do, Jeff. I do.
Yeah, I do too.
The last 4 times the Steelers have been to the playoffs, they've lost on average by 21 points a game. They're not even in the game. Another ugly dog, but I'm in. Give me the Carolina Panthers. I'm giving them one more shot here.
Why do you love them so much, Jeff? I got your ass last week with the Bears.
I just want to throw this out. I bet them twice this year. I've won once. I've lost once.
Okay.
I'm going back to the well with them. I think they're a significantly better team than Andy Dalton, okay? I think the Falcons are riding high. They've kind of won a lot of close games, won by the skin of their teeth. Again, another team that has found ways to win, but I don't think their defense is very good. Kirk Cousins is a favorite, is a complete disaster in his career. Give me Carolina. I'll grab 6.5 here. I think they like New England hang around.
JB, see, I'll just cut this short. I know that they are riding high after that offense, but that's more Atlanta's offense after 5 Bills by Cousins last week. I just don't think Carolina is that good. As much as I like Dalton, those wheels are eventually going to fall off, and Bryce Young will see the field again this year. And I love Andy as a cagey veteran. They're just not very good. I think Atlanta's offense is the difference in this one. I'd take Atlanta by a touchdown.
But again, another thought, and I'll throw this out. Why is this number so low? The Panthers have been so bad, and I'll tell you why. Because Kirk Cousins does not win laying points. He's not good in that role. He's a kind of a dog guy. He's always been good in that role. JB, what do you like here? I'm sure you like Atlanta, right?
Yeah, I'm taking Atlanta. I would find it hard pressed for a 509-yard game to come back down and throw for under 200 or some crazy shit. That's what it would take for Atlanta to lose this game. Bijan Robinson will get a heavy load.
I think too many weapons on Atlanta, JB.
Yeah, Pitt. This is the scary part for Atlanta, who I picked to win this division, by the way, before the season started. Michael Pitts finally had a 7-catch game last week. He finally got going. London had 12 catches last week. I think Pitts has now finally broke through that mental barrier, and now Cousins knows I got to get this big freak the ball more. And then him in London with Bijan, I think it's too much for Carolina.
Yeah, so as we said, I'm taking the Panthers and Patriots. You guys both like the favorites in those games. Somebody's going to be right here. And look, my track record is quite good, so I guess we'll see. Final 4:00 game. You got the Lions and Cowboys. This is going to be your main game here, right? Two great offenses. Cowboys got back on track, found a way to win last week. Back at home, they're going to throw. The Detroit Lions secondary is not good. Figure, though, that the Lions are going to throw. They'll move the football.
Take the over in this game, Jeff.
It's very high, 52.5. I'm actually going to go you one better, and this is a favorite play of mine, one of my favorites on the board this week. Cowboys team total over 24.5. I like this. They are going to throw, as I said, have a high-end scoring offense per usual. Haven't been as good as normal. They're only averaging about 24 points a game, but I think they get back on track against a bad pass defense. I think they put the ball in the end zone, which they've historically been pretty good. They're kind of middle of the pack this season. I don't really care about who wins. I just think the Dallas Cowboys get into the 30s here.
I think I would take the over in this game. I think both will score enough points to get it. I know it's a decently high over, but I think this game's like 37-33. I think both teams are up in the lower third. I think it's a high scoring game. I do.
You think it flies over?
I don't think either defense is going to hang around in this game. I like both offenses.
Keep in mind, both these teams 5th and 9th in plays per game. Play very fast. Dallas does not run the ball seemingly
and
ever.
If you're down by 2 touchdowns, they're going to throw. This is like this game, even if it's close to the number. Give me the over in this football game. I don't like the points, win and loss. Whoever, the point spread bugs me in this game because I don't know who the Cowboys are. I really don't. I like the over because I think both offenses will excel against these defenses.
Here's my thing. I think this is the demise of the Dallas Cowboys and the re-signing of Dak Prescott. I think one team's ascending, one team is declining. I think that the Cowboys have a very, very serious issue on offense because they have no running game and no identity. They think they found this young running back last week because they gave him the ball 20 times. Detroit knows that. Okay, let's just be honest. Ezekiel Elliott's not even a fucking figment of what he was. This team is declining in front of our eyes. I think Detroit smacks them tonight. And but the question I have is this. Why isn't this the evening game and the fucking Bengals and Giants aren't at fucking 10 in the morning and get them out of the way? Why is this not a move game? And why wouldn't they have moved this based on schedules and school and records?
This is where the NFL this is where they drop the ball.
I mean, I went to the fucking boat tonight.
Yeah. Well, listen, you could also make the case. Why not put Washington, Baltimore as the 8:00 game? I mean, I couldn't agree more. I'm lost on that.
Sean, they got to be able to move these games. They got to be able to flex these games with a flex schedule. I don't get why Roger Goodell. Why Roger Goodell never can figure out the flex schedule.
It's interesting, JB. I would have thought you would have had a bottle of lotion getting ready for Daniel Dimes on primetime. I'm surprised.
Because the team's no good. I watch him, but not the fucking team's no good. I don't want to watch them. And then the Bengals are what, 1-4?
Bengals are good offense, though. At least.
Okay, who wins that game then?
Well, let's get to that game. Yeah, it's the final game. Listen, I'm just going to keep fucking banging the drum over. The Bengals stop nobody. This is the worst defense in the league, in my opinion. They're horrible.
And the Giants are fucking winning games they shouldn't win, and then they lose games they shouldn't lose. It's like the Giants are like, who are they? Are they the team that goes up to Seattle and gets a fucking fumble pick six or a fumble return for a touchdown and win the game on defense? Or is the Giants a team that for some reason, the Giants ran the ball last week down Seattle's throat, but guess what? So did my mom.
Let me give you
Seattle defense on run defense is horrific. So I don't know what Giant team this really is. And then, like you said, the Bengals defense is so bad, but they can score points on the other side.
Over.
Yeah, it's a funny or the fucking Giants don't score the game. That's where it's at.
This game's in the 50s tonight.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, listen, the Bengals get no pressure. They're just lost. And as he alluded to, Burrow, they've got plenty of weapons. That Yoshivas kid is another weapon for Burrow. They just can't stop anybody. I had to feel bad for him last week. They should have won. The kicker fucks up. Zach Taylor fucks up. The defense fucks up. Joe Burrow's done his job. I will throw out, I don't play props much. Wan'Dale Robinson today for the Giants. He's going to get a lot of targets with Neighbors out. Bad defense. I think Wan'Dale has a big game. I agree with Sean. I think it's a high-scoring, fun game. I think it will be fun, and I think in the end it'll probably be a pretty good game.
Okay, Jeff, I'm coming to you now. I'm going to start doing this every week. Fair enough? At the end of the show, before you guys pick your lock. If I asked you, I said, okay, man, my betting life depends on a $10,000 bet.
Okay.
I'm not throwing $10,000, but just to give somebody we have lock of the week, but I'm talking about your life lock of the week, which we should get a sponsor from LifeLock. You see what I did there, JB? Feel me? What's your life lock of the week that if you had 10,000 left and it was everything and you had to bet it, which I wouldn't encourage anybody to do.
Yeah, I wouldn't do that.
Go see help before you do that. What would you bet on the Sunday slate?
Packers, that's my lock.
This is just guys predicting. No, don't go out and bet 10,000, folks. This is for me. I just want to know, Jeff, where you'd feel most comfortable on a mortgage.
Hey, Michael Davis, drop $10,000, bitch. Fucking super chat, fucking $2 bitch. I blocked him anyway. Fucking
what would it be, Jeff? Tell me.
Packers. I'm taking the Packers, but go ahead, Jeff.
Yeah, I will say I hate that word lock. I'd say go to your front door. That's the only lock you're gonna find.
The deadbolt of the week, Jeff.
Yeah, I'm gonna go back to it. I New England. I just don't. Sorry, that's where I would go. That's it. I'll give you another one. I think Dallas has a big game. I really do. I think the Detroit Lions pass defense sucks. I think it's going to be on the back foot all day. Let
me spin it.
What about the Ravens?
Sean, let me spin this.
Ravens I like as well.
Let me spin it this way. Your question, lock, fuck, whatever. Let me show this at you. Ravens, Dallas, Bengals, Packers. You had to pick one of those locks.
I would take the over in the Bengals Giants game.
Yeah, I like that as well. You also mentioned, I mean, you look at that game with Baltimore and Washington. I mean, those two teams are going to move the football. I mean, over, But here's what I'll again say to you guys. This whole chat, you guys, none of you think that New England can win. Don't you think that's a problem? Like everyone and their mother's on the Houston Texans, and they haven't won any game by 7 or more this year. So it's not like they're a team that blows teams out.
Hey, you're a great better, Jared. That could be great. You might be onto something. You might be. I just think that Houston has to get going here, to Sean's point, eventually. And they've won enough games to keep them afloat to where now they start to pull away. And this is the game to do so, in my opinion, with a rookie QB starting, Drake May, correct?
Yes.
And I don't like that for the New England, because to me now they're throwing shit at the wall and see if it can stick, because they haven't been able to do shit with Brissett and the other things. And I think that's the wrong time to go into a team that can actually, even though they haven't, Jeff, to your point, but they can score big numbers. They can score
points. What's the New England weather today, guys? What's the weather like?
It's sunny and nice on the East Coast. Perfect football weather.
Hey, let's pick the Monday night game real quick for everybody out there.
Though, JB, I don't want to let you off the hook here. We have about 7 minutes, and we have to talk about it, JB. I know you don't want to, and you're trying to avoid it, but Caleb Williams, 4 touchdowns today. He now has more touchdowns in Week 6 than Mitchell Trubisky and Justin Fields had in Chicago. I also want to throw out that only four touchdowns. That's only happened 10 times since 2000 for a Chicago Bears team. He is killing it, Caleb Williams. Show some respect, please.
Yeah, I mean, I wish I would have saw Justin Fields or Trubisky or some of those guys with these wideouts. Great job to finally have some wideouts, isn't it? Doesn't that help, Jeff, to sometimes when we always talked about this shit? But
he is surely the best rookie.
Fields didn't have no wideouts. Well, yeah, no wideouts. But guess what? Caleb sure has wideouts, and now all of a sudden he's good, and the fucking team's good. He wasn't very good.
Sounds like that's not. I forgot. Is he the GM?
Well, but I'm saying, though, Caleb wasn't good in the first 4 weeks. He had the same roster, didn't he? Why is he now good? Maybe they played the fucking Jaguars. They're fucking horrific.
Yeah, but you got to give him on a team on Chicago where he's running around. You got to give him credit, whether he's mechanically sound. And JB, you and I sit in the same church pew when it comes to that. But the guy's a playmaker.
Yeah,
yes, he is.
Now let me ask you, JB.
I'm taking Jane Daniels every day, though. I'm taking Jane Daniels every day.
Okay, then that's great. They're going to battle for this Rookie of the Year thing, even though Jaden Daniels is a leader. If Caleb Williams didn't do some of the things that you don't like, the stuff that you don't like your quarterback to do, the nails and all that stuff, would you? And mechanics aren't overly sound, but that's the case with about 80% of quarterbacks in this league now. As a playmaker, you've got to give him credit, though, right? You got to think the guy's.
He doesn't give people credit. It doesn't work like that, Sean. What world do you live in? He does not give people.
So when will you give him credit? What does he got to do for you to finally say, you know what?
He wouldn't give him credit. He doesn't give Patrick Mahomes credit for Christ's sake. He's the greatest quarterback ever.
Get to the playoffs. No, he's not the best.
As a rookie on the Bears team, get to the playoffs.
All right, guys, listen. We got 5 minutes, but I want to just mention, did I maybe save the best for last? Yeah, because I love the Monday Night Football game, which is rare. I don't play Monday Night Football. I love.
All right. The only reason this is a good game because they have a new head fucking coach.
No. I'm going to tell you why. Let me hold on. Sean, did you ever watch that show on CNBC? I don't know if you're a stock guy. That Jim Cramer show.
Regularly, yes.
Okay, you know how that when he does the lightning round, he has that buy.
Right.
Sell.
Yes.
Buy on the Jets. +2. They win the game. Bills cannot stop the run. Breece Hall, big game, new coach. New season. Aaron Rodgers it's his team
New
now.
Coordinator too. New coordinator, Todd Downing.
Yep.
And Buffalo, if Josh Allen doesn't play great, they don't win.
Yep.
And the Texans, he went 9 of 30 against the Texans last week?
Yeah.
Hey, I heard the Jets hired Tim Walz as the DC.
Funny.
What's wrong with you, man?
Listen, man. Listen. Listen.
JB does like Aidan O'Connell more than Patrick Mahomes, though. That I do.
And Daniel Jones.
Listen, I know Todd Downing. He's been coordinator 3 different places.
Raiders, Titans, yes.
Yeah. How? I have no fucking idea. But listen,
it's at least it's an upgrade because they ain't been very good with Nat Hackett. It's been a tough go.
Hey, your guy's son. I mean,
and the guy that recruited me to go to USC. I love Paul.
Paul's great.
It's different. Yeah, they're different. They're different.
It seemed like something squirted out on the right side of there when he.
Whoa!
But listen, I don't know what's going on there, but Nathaniel just can't hack it. I don't know how he had the job, Sean. I would have cleaned house. I would have got rid of
guys. It goes back to what I've said before. Is the son of someone famous or good ever good? No. The sons of people suck. They're never good. Look at historically. Every son,
unless your name's Barry Bonds.
Yeah, but it's rare. Like Ken Griffey, maybe
Griffey Jr. Right.
There are very few though. Like Michael Jordan's son, who the fuck is he? Like
I think the Jets might put it on Buffalo tomorrow night.
I agree.
I think the Jets win by a touchdown tomorrow on Monday night.
I agree. I like
Ulbrich. Ulbrich's a great. I love him.
Rodgers is not going to throw 3 picks next week. He made 3 bad mistakes last week. You should expect him to come back and play well since he's got what he wants right now.
Yeah, I'm curious to see this. I want to see what Ulbricht's done as far as what he's done. I wouldn't be surprised if Ulbricht basically just created a culture this week, and they really just got the fundamentals again, and they're just going to go out.
I like his energy, man.
He was at UCLA with Mazzoni. He was at UCLA with Mazzoni, and
I like him. Have for a long time. I think I'm anxious to see how he takes over the whole team.
No doubt.
There you have it. So, JB, your lock is Green Bay. Is that what you said?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm going New England plus 6.5.
I'm going to take my lock. I'm going to take the over on the Cowboys-Lions game.
Okay. 52. Okay. Very good. I think could be very similar to that Bengal-Raven game last week. Yeah, I'm going with New England plus 6.5. I said it before. I also like the Jets plus 2. I think they beat the Bills tomorrow night at home. It's a new day in New York with Ulbrich as your new head coach. All right, that's that. Thank you to Bailey for producing behind the scenes. Bailey is picking up the pieces after his beloved Colorado Buffaloes lost last night. His 3-week-old fandom, Colorado Buffaloes. Any thoughts on that, Bailey? He's a big Buffalo fan now.
Look at baby.
Not a fan, but thanks, brother. I appreciate you. I hope you made money on K-State.
No, I didn't.
I pick. You know, Bailey. I do it as a troll job now. I pick everybody against Colorado. It's good for business. So K-State got it done. Finally,
between Patrick Mahomes and Colorado, JV, you ain't picking either one of them for shit at any point. But McChesney's going to either try to kill you before the season's over, and Mahomes is going to laugh at you when he's inducted the Hall of Fame with like 6 Super Bowl rings. But other than that, that's it. Everything's good. Now, is this number 1 with my finger crooked, or does that mean number 7? What would you say, Jeff Nadu? If I said, hey, they're number, what would you say? Is that number 1?
That's number 1.
Yeah, thank you. Good night.
And by the way, just to put that on the record, Colorado did cover last night. They were 3.5-point underdogs. So they did cover.
Yeah.
Hey, Sean, did the girls like you for that? Looks like it's aimed right at the clit.
They like me for that.
That's what they said.
Hey, listen, that whole hands thing is bullshit. My hands are very small, and my dick is huge. So, hey. We're out of here. Have a great day. Thank you to Bailey.
Like a field mouse, Jeff Nadu. Jeff, we'll talk. I love you.
Tomorrow, Coach JB show is back with Smitty. We'll see what excuse he has for the Colts. We'll see.
Hey, I'm only 2 inches.
JB, remember, Mahomes is just an average player, according to you, right?
Hey, and I'm only 2 inches from the ground.
And Caleb Williams couldn't beat anybody, Jeff, right? According to JB.
Oh, yeah. 4 touchdowns today. Read it and weep, JB. Bye-bye, everybody.
See you guys. Great
2 inches from the
last
ground,
chance cube. Let's go.
And I just cannot wait to bring over 60 years of knowledge and experience to not only the novice football fan, Sean, but to the veteran football coach as well.
You love it. You better live it, drink